Welcome back to Reset Rise Midlife. I'm your host, Coach Sabrina Woods, and today I just want to sit with you for a moment. This isn't about fixing anything. It's about understanding what's been happening inside of us. Because before we can talk about awareness, energy, or emotions, it helps to understand what's actually happening in our own body. When something happens, our nervous system responds first. It's scanning for safety, tone, and shifts faster than we can even think. So before we ever say, this hurt me or that upset me, our body has already reacted. Our chest might tighten, our heart rate shifts, and our thoughts start moving quickly. And then our mind steps in to make it meaning. So often what we call a thought came after the feeling. And if we don't slow that down, we can start believing that every thought we have is truth, when sometimes it's just our body reacting and our mind is trying to catch up. And when we talk about energy, we're really talking about our own nervous system, our emotional state, our perception, and our reactions. Because if we're honest, everything we experience through our body first, before logic, before words, and before understanding. Our body has already responded. And if we don't slow that down long enough to notice it, we can start truly calling every feeling truth. And awareness is the moment where we say, I feel something, but I haven't decided what it means just yet. That space right there, that's where things begin to change. When something happens, the emotional part of our brain reacts first. It reacts fast, automatic, and it reacts protective. The rush we feel, that tension, that spike, that's not us being too much. That's our brain doing its job. Then, a moment later, our thinking brain comes online. You know, the part that helps us reason and choose? But if we react before that part engages, we are responding from protection, not clarity. Maybe we were never too emotional. Maybe we just weren't given the space to understand what we're feeling before we acted on it. We've all felt this. We can be around someone and slowly start feeling what they feel. A shift in tone, tension in the room. And before we realize it, we are holding on to it too. And now it's just not one person, it's us too. So we ask, am I feeling this? Or am I carrying this? Because we're allowed to feel, but we're not meant to carry everything, especially when it's not ours. So we bring this back to ourselves. Is this mine, or did I just stand too close to it? That question creates clarity, and it helps us stop reacting to things that don't belong to us. And sometimes, to be honest, it's not even about now, this moment. Something small happens, but it feels bigger than it should. And when we slow it down, we realize this feels familiar. So we ask, is this about this moment, or is this touching something older inside of me? And when we see that, we stop letting the past respond for us in the present. You see, there's a space between what we feel and what we choose to do next. You see, most of us run right through it, right? We move right through it. We start feeling and then we jump right into reacting. But awareness creates the feeling, and then we notice it, and then we get to choose differently. And that space is where everything begins to change. And this shows up in the small moments. Someone raises their voice and we pause instead of matching it. We say to ourselves, that's not mine to carry. We feel misunderstood and we choose clarity over defense. We notice our body reacting and we stay within ourselves just a little longer. That's not weakness. That's awareness. So the next time something comes up, try this. What am I feeling right now? Is this mine? How do I want to respond, not react? And don't rush it. Just stay with it. Before we close, let's take a moment together. Relax your body, unclench your jaw, and drop your shoulders. And I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale gently. Notice what's present, not the story, just the feeling. And ask yourself, what am I holding that might not be mine? And now ask yourself, what do I need right now? And I want you to take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, release just a little. We don't have to release everything at once. We're allowed to release in little bits. And I want you to remind yourself, I can feel without carrying everything. I can pause before I respond, and I can choose what I take with me. And this, my friend, this is your peace pivot, okay? It's a return to ourselves again and again and again. So I want to thank you for sitting with me today, for choosing awareness even in those small moments. I'm Coach Sabrina Woods, and this is Reset Rise Midlife. And I'll meet you here again next time.
So I pivot back to peace.